Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. Real quick shout out to all the members that are there on the screen. Go check them out. Go give them a like, subscribe, show them some love and support. Also, if this video gets over 250 likes, I shall continue the series. Thank you all for the support. Let's hit 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later. In this what-if scenario, Goku will be given half Saiyan and then half Kryptonian. How would this change Dragon Ball itself? Let's get into this video. Thank y'all for the support. The Saiyan Bardock has just crash landed on a new planet known as planet Krypton. This planet was rich in resources and had an incredible empire. Now, of course, these beings are quite powerful, more powerful than a base species, but they cannot defeat the likes of Bardock, who can destroy a planet. Now, during this time though, I feel like Bardock would fall in love with a woman, and this is when they would have a child together. Now, Bardock here is a Saiyan himself. So Bardock's main goal was to just show up, do what he has to do, and then leave, which is usually to mark the planet down for Frieza's men to then take it over years later. Now Bardock would return back to planet Vegeta, as all the same events would happen for him. It's just that once when Krypton was going to be destroyed by a black hole, what we do know is that Goku, named as Kakarot, as that's what Bardock would have named them, as they would have given him a Saiyan name, was sent off to planet Earth. Now, this would not really mess with the Dragon Ball timeline that much, just the fact that Bardock never really saw his son. But maybe he would know about it, but not necessarily. He might know that maybe that Krypton was destroyed, but a space pod was sent out. So maybe he knows that's his son, but he'll worry about that later, as Frieza was destroying everybody. Bardock would still die, giving his last stand, as he would see visions of his son from that Krypton planet fighting the likes of Frieza. And then he knows that this will change everything. Now, Goku would still land on Earth, and he would still meet Grandpa Gohan. Goku would still be a loving, caring boy. Now, would Goku still bump his head? Now, you could argue that he did, because he's an infant, as he was only a few weeks old when he crashed. So it's very possible that when he fell, he still hit his head, as he's still absorbing the sun rays. As people who don't know how Kryptonian works, is that they get their power from stars. As different stars give them different power-ups, the Kryptonians on their normal planet, they had a very weak star. So they were not the powerhouses like Superman. But Superman was given on Earth, which has the yellow sun. And the yellow sun is very rich in power, which gives Superman his abilities. And that's why he's much more powerful than a normal Kryptonian was in the first place, because he can absorb much more sun energy. Now, as for Goku, from a very young age, when he was training with Grandpa Gohan, Goku was naturally extremely powerful as a boy, far more than the original Goku. But he learned martial arts and he learned how to control his incredible strength. This version of Goku also learned how to fly. As remember, this version of Goku is about 10 to 12 years old, so he learned how to fly and learned how to use X-ray vision. He can use freeze breath, and of course, heat vision, as that's the coolest move ever. Grandpa Gohan would take note of this, that this boy is definitely not normal. He has incredible power. As how powerful is this version of Goku? Now, as we know that the likes of like Superman doesn't have limitations, as the likes of Goku does. Goku breaks his limits. Superman in comics is written very weird, but he's written as a character that doesn't truly have a limit. A Kryptonian doesn't necessarily have a power limit. They can get as powerful as they need to. But Goku doesn't know that the power comes from the sun. He doesn't know that. So in terms of power, I'm definitely going to put him up in the 200s to 300s, as with a little training, he's already that powerful. He would still turn into a great ape, as even being half Saiyan, you can still do that. He would sadly kill Grandpa Gohan, but he would revert back to normal and continue living his life, protecting the 4-star Dragon Ball. He would still meet up with Bulma, and a lot of the adventures would pretty much happen the exact same. It's just that Goku here is far more powerful than the original, and as he trains and gets stronger with his Saiyan DNA, his power will continue to grow higher, higher, and then higher. So this would change a few events. He wouldn't get beaten up as badly. The fact that he does have more abilities than normal, and the fact that he can fly, which not a lot of characters in early Dragon Ball could fly. Now we are going to cut years later, as pretty much the Red Ribbon Army would theoretically happen the same. It is true that Goku probably handled them a lot better. You could argue that maybe he destroys them even more. This could maybe kill Dr. Gero, but I highly doubt that. But yeah, everything would pretty much go the exact same. All the way up until the Demon King Piccolo saga, or if you want to go back more, you could go to when he fought Master Roshi. Now, when he does meet Roshi, Roshi will still train him, but Roshi knows that Son Goku is very, very different from a normal boy. Not to mention he has a tail, but the fact that he can fly, has heat vision, Master Roshi thinks that maybe it's ki that he's shooting out of his eyes, but he doesn't sense that. It's just pure energy that's shooting out of his body. Well, once Master Roshi fights Goku in a tournament, as we know, Goku would actually defeat him this time, as Goku's power level has to be up in the 500s. As, of course, with the training and the fact that he's growing more powerful as he's getting older, it's not too far-fetched, because even Superman in Goku's age was literally able to throw cars, and he was insanely powerful. And even when Superman was a young adult, pretty much he could destroy a planet if he really wanted to, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. And as Superman changed, he got more powerful. Son Goku was the same way. So growing up, Son Goku would still be the same happy, lovable guy. Not much really change. Only difference here is that Goku does have more speed than normal as well, because he's a Kryptonian. He does have the heat vision, everything else. So he actually would save Krillin and kill Tambourine. But now because of this though, and the other events, Demon King Piccolo would never wish himself to be younger. But when Goku fights him, it doesn't matter anyway. He would have still killed Demon King Piccolo. This also means that either if Goku maybe uses his laser beam and hits him, you could argue that he could still spit out Piccolo Jr. For what purposes? I'm going to say that he can. So Piccolo Jr. is still born just because I love Piccolo so much. Now, other than that, after Demon King Piccolo is defeated, Goku would actually go train with Kami and, of course, Korin and Popo. Now, because of this, Kami would actually know a little bit more about Goku's heritage, and he would even tell him where his spaceship is. Now, Goku would go down and he'd find the space pod that he was found in, as he wants to learn more about his past. Now, because of this, he would actually see a hologram of his mother. And his mother would tell Goku of his powers, the fact that he gets it from the sun, and other abilities, and that his planet Krypton was completely destroyed. So Goku says that, well, I guess I'm exactly, he can't even say the word. A Kryptonian? He'll just be stuttering because he doesn't really know the word. But then he'll figure out how to say Kryptonian? Something like that? 4 years would pass the exact same. During the Piccolo Jr. arc, Goku here is a young man now. As Goku has a deeper understanding of his heritage, how powerful would Goku be? Now, as we do know, Goku does not need the Flying Nimbus, because remember, he can fly on his own. So he would still have kind of the balance of his Saiyan instincts for battling. And then he also has a Kryptonian sense of responsibility as well within him. But Goku would still meet Bulma, Krillin, and Master Roshi and the others. But now, of course, under the guidance of course, Kami and Mr. Popo, this would of course change a lot of things. Now, when Goku meets up with his friends, how powerful is this version of Goku? Now, because Goku does know Ki, Goku could conceal his power, but he can't really bump or raise his power level because he's always this powerful, and he can't help it. He's as powerful as he needs to be. Now, because of this, when Goku fights Piccolo Jr., it would be a pretty cool fight. Goku would, of course, use martial arts, as a Saiyan blood cannot, of course, he can't handle it. He has to have a fun fight. Goku here is far stronger than Piccolo Jr. Piccolo Jr. would definitely be more powerful than the original, but it wouldn't do much against Goku since he has way too many abilities, and he's way too fast for Piccolo, and way too powerful. Goku here definitely has a power level in the thousands. He would defeat Piccolo, not kill him, because he knows that if Piccolo Jr. dies, Kami dies as well, which would then get rid of the Dragon Balls. So he would actually stop Kami from killing Piccolo as well. Now, because of this, 5 years would still pass. I feel like Goku would still meet Chi-Chi and they would still get married the same exact way, as Goku had the same exact adventures, so he would have met Chi-Chi when they were younger anyway. Now, because of this, 5 years would pass, Gohan was still born. Now, because of this, Goku would go meet his friends as he would actually fly, holding Gohan this time instead of using the flying Nimbus. He would meet all of his friends and Master Roshi and everybody else, and he was really happy. Not far off in the distance, Raditz would still land on this planet, as Raditz knows that he has a bastard brother that I guess his father was fooling around, but the more hybrid Saiyans that they might have, the better, as he came from this planet called Krypton. Now, Vegeta and Nappa know about this because Raditz would have talked to him beforehand, but they have little care about it. They say to go handle it, as the Saiyan must be weak, he's on Earth. Raditz was surprised that Earth was not completely destroyed, but then he also remembers that this is Krypton that sent him, so they're not really planet destroyers. He would meet up with Goku, and they would have the same interaction as before. The only difference here is that when Raditz tries to take Goku's son, and of course you guys remember, Raditz got an elbow right to Goku's stomach, the difference will definitely happen, as Goku would have caught his elbow and threw Raditz across the sea, right hitting the islands. Raditz would have gotten up surprised that his power level spiked that high, suddenly, as maybe he could learn to conceal his power. Goku would appear and the two would begin their battle. Goku was far too powerful for Raditz. As getting into power levels, Goku was in the 5,000s. So he was definitely around 5,000 or so in terms of power, which is not too far-fetched considering the fact of him getting bigger and stronger as he ages. So it's actually lowballing him quite well. Raditz has no chance against this version of Goku, so Goku gives Raditz the option to run off, leave and never come back. Raditz is not an idiot, and then he learns to leave. As Raditz's ship was never destroyed by Gohan, Raditz would fly off and leave the planet, as he would kind of run between the tail between his legs to go meet up with Vegeta and Nappa. But sadly, because of this, once it meets Vegeta and Nappa, Vegeta would actually kill him, saying that how much of a weak worm he is. But it would pique his interest. A power level of 5,000? Oh, that might be something to look into, even if it's real or not. So, Vegeta and Nappa would then take their trip, going right over to planet Earth. Now, because of this, Goku never died, so Goku would theoretically never have gone to see King Kai. Now, because of this, you could go two ways. Kami can tell Goku about a better teacher as he knows about King Kai, or Goku never goes to see King Kai yet, so he would never get the King Kai training. I'm gonna go with the second option, that he would never meet King Kai, as why would Kami tell him, as Kami didn't really feel like he wanted to. If you get what I'm saying, Goku's powerful enough. But Kami would still tell them that he can sense two powerful Saiyans will be on their way. And also what Goku gathered from Raditz saying that, oh, I'll come back with two more powerful Saiyans they ever imagined, blah, 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 and he flies off, they would still do their training for a year. Now, you could argue that maybe Goku uses the hyperbolic time chamber, but Goku never put any thought into it ever, other than the Cell Saga, so I'm going to say that they probably don't use it as they don't have enough supplies yet. But Goku would train with his son Gohan, and let Gohan also train with Piccolo too, to toughen him up. Goku would spar with his friends and get a lot more powerful, learning more martial arts and getting more stronger. Now, because of this, once when Vegeta and Nappa appear, Goku's not late, so his friends don't die, as Goku would help them fight off the Cybermen, as that would be much easier for Goku to handle. Now, as Goku is growing older, he is growing stronger, as you guys know. As he's still absorbing sun power and his power is continuously growing, Goku here easily has a power level of nearing the 20,000s. It's not far-fetched, the fact with his training potential, with his natural talent of learning, and the fact that he's growing into his full fighting body, as now Goku around this age is around 23 to 24. So he is a fully grown man and he's reaching his adulthood in terms of Kryptonian aging. So now he's going to be at his Kryptonian full power, which is not far-fetched. He would begin his fight with Nappa, and he would have easily defeated him. This also means that Piccolo never dies, so Kami never dies. Now this does also mean that of course Tien never dies, Chaozu never dies, and Yamcha never dies because of the Cybermen. Now this would have piqued Vegeta's interest immensely, as Vegeta wants to challenge Son Goku, or Kakarot, and see who really is the most powerful Saiyan. Goku would then agree and they would fly off somewhere safer where there's no animals around, and the two would begin their battle. Vegeta was really powerful, and Goku admits that, but Goku still had the edge as he had more abilities. Vegeta would then charge up a Gallic gun, and this would actually do a lot of damage to Goku, as it would actually really hurt him. As this would then blast Son Goku all the way into outer space, Goku thought that he died, but then he realized, hey, he can breathe in space. He never knew that he could do that, as he never tried to go out into space. He thought his head would explode or he would die. But yeah, he's floating full on in space and he's having fun. But because of this, Goku would then look at the sun and he would start to absorb more of his power being out of the Earth's atmosphere. He now gets the full pump of the sun rays. This would amp his powers even higher, tripling or quadrupling his power far more, as now he's in the power levels of near 100,000 for a quick burst as he soaked up sun rays pure right out in Earth space. As we know, this only lasts for so long, as back in Earth's atmosphere his power would then dip back down. He would fly right down on Vegeta and easily defeat him, but Goku would spare Vegeta. As we know before, Vegeta doesn't have much options as he's too badly injured to turn into a great ape. He doesn't have enough power to make a fake moon, and Goku would spare him. Vegeta would then crawl back to his space pod, as Goku would tell him to never return to Earth and to stay away from this planet. Vegeta would then laugh and said, "You made a mistake sparing my life, Kakarot." As then, Vegeta would then leave, heading back over to Frieza's ship. And then, because of this, the fact that, of course, Vegeta scouter about the fact that Vegeta read such a high power level, and Vegeta was telling everybody about how this hybrid of a Saiyan from a planet called Krypton was able to defeat him, that word would slowly get to Lord Frieza. This would perk his interest a little bit, as Frieza would take note of it. The only thing that he would have asked Vegeta was, "What else do you know?" And Vegeta states, "Wait, there was an Namekian there." And Frieza was like, "Okay, what about it?" And he's like, "Well, they spoke about if any of their friends died, they can use these wishing orbs, the Dragon Balls, to wish back." Frieza's like, "A wish, huh?" So that means that they can grant a wish with these magical orbs. Good. Send the coordinates on my ship to Earth right away, as this would take about a year for Frieza to arrive. And then the main fun will soon begin. That is it for this one. If you guys, thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. The real fun will begin very shortly when Frieza would then show up to planet Earth. Thank y'all for the support. If this video gets to 250 likes, I shall continue it. Let's hit 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.